Pixie Hollow is a magical place. It is home to the Neverland Fairies. The fairies have special talents. Tinkerbell invents things. She is a tinker fairy. Iridessa is a light fairy. She makes sunbeams and rainbows. Rosetta is a garden fairy. Plants bloom when she is around. Zarina is a dust keeper fairy. She helps tie up pixie dust. Pixie dust can make things fly. Zarina loves to learn new things. She asks a lot about how pixie dust works. It is Zarina's turn to help work with blue pixie dust. She watches Fairy Gary add the dust drop by drop. Zarina dreams of creating different colors of pixie dust. At home, Zarina tries to make other kinds of pixie dust. A tiny speck of blue pixie dust falls out of her hair. She adds it to a bowl of regular pixie dust. In a flash, the dust turns orange. It worked, she shouts. Zarina invites Tinkerbell to her house to see the new pixie dust. You found orange pixie dust? Asks Tinkerbell. No, Tink, says Zarina. I made orange pixie dust. That has never been done before, says Tinkerbell. Zarina asks Tink to stir another bowl. They make purple pixie dust. Purple equals fast-flying talent, cries Zarina. Tinkerbell is scared. Zarina is excited. She makes more and more colors of dust. Zarina makes pink garden talent dust. It spills onto a plant and vines grow out of Zarina's house. The vines grow through Pixie Hollow. They destroy the dust depot. Fairy Gary tells Zarina she cannot be a dust keeper fairy. Zarina feels sad, so she flies away from Pixie Hollow. The fairies do not see Zarina for a long time. She comes back to steal the blue pixie dust. The fairies chase her. They find Zarina on a pirate ship. She is wearing pirate clothes. She has new pirate friends. Something is not right. The fairies follow Zarina until she is alone. Why are you doing this? Tinkerbell asks. Zarina explains that she will make pixie dust for the pirates. This is exactly where I belong, Zarina says. Zarina, do not do this, Tinkerbell cries. Come back home. I am so sorry, Zarina says. She hugs her friends. The girls take control of the pirate ship. They take the ship and the blue pixie dust back to Pixie Hollow.
They make purple pixie dust. Purple equals fast-flying talent, cries Zarina. Tinkerbell is scared. Zarina is excited. She makes more and more colors of dust. Zarina makes pink garden talent dust. It spills holds onto a plant and vines grow out of Zarina's house. The vines grow through Pixie Hollow. They destroy the dust depot. Fairy Gary tells Zarina she cannot be a dust keeper fairy. Zarina feels sad, so she flies away from Pixie Hollow. The fairies do not see Zarina for a long time. She comes back to steal the blue pixie dust. The fairies chase her. They find Zarina on a pirate ship. She is wearing pirate clothes. She has new pirate friends. Something is not right. The fairies follow Zarina until she is alone. "Why are you doing this?" Tinkerbell asks. Zarina explains that she will make pixie dust for the pirates. "This is exactly where I belong," Zarina says. "Zarina, do not do this," Tinkerbell cries. "Come back home." "I am so sorry," Zarina says. She hugs her friends. The girls take control of the pirate ship. They take the ship and the blue pixie dust back to Pixie Hollow.
Tinkerbell and return to Neverland. Tink and Peter are having a normal day in Neverland when they stop by the Jolly Roger to visit and annoy Captain Hook. When they arrive, Hook claims to have his dearest Wendy held captive. Peter battles the evil pirate, but Hook throws Wendy overboard to be eaten by an octopus. Peter rushes down to save her, and Tink follows close behind. When Pan seems to have finally met his end, he emerges from the water, and Tink uses her pixie dust to lift the octopus and land him on Hook's ship. Peter and Tink then leave the scene to free the prisoner. Instead of Wendy, however, they find her daughter Jane. Tink takes an immediate disliking toward her, similar to her disliking of Wendy in the first film. Pan decides to introduce her to the Lost Boys, but Jane quickly grows tired of their savage-like behavior. She attempts to build a raft to return home, but Pan knows that the only way to leave Neverland is to fly. Tink reluctantly bestows pixie dust upon Jane, but the flight lessons end in failure. Jane loses her temper again when Pan and the boys begin to play rugby with her notepad. She tells Pan and the boys off and even abolishes her belief in fairies. Jane's disbelief causes Tink to grow ill. After Slightly gives her a checkup, Pan and the gang learn that Tinkerbell will die unless they get Jane to believe in fairies. Pan and the others then set out to find Jane and make her the very first lost girl. Meanwhile, back at Hangman's Tree, Tinkerbell is still struggling to stay alive as her light continues to flicker in and out over and over again, this time going a bit faster as her death draws near. After unintentionally causing herself to slip off a brown mushroom by kicking her left leg in frustration due to her trying to use her pixie dust and only being able to shoot out bits of it, which she was on earlier, Tink finds a mirror next to her, and she's clearly devastated at being the person she was all these years. Tink then looks as if she's crying. Unfortunately, Jane makes a deal with Hook. If she helps him locate his treasure, he'll give her a ride home on his ship that now has the ability to fly after Tinkerbell sprinkled her pixie dust all over it. Jane tricks the boys into playing treasure hunt, but after bonding with them, she changes her mind and discards the whistle she was meant to use to summon Hook once she found the treasure. Toodles the lost boy finds the whistle and innocently blows it, summoning Hook and his crew. Peter and the others are captured, and Jane rushes back to Hangman's Tree to find Tinkerbell after Peter accuses her of killing Tink because of her earlier outburst of not believing in fairies. It's too late, however, and Tinkerbell's bright light of life has expired. Jane mourns the death of the Tinker Fairy in guilt and shame for being the one who killed Tink, and her belief in fairies begins to arise. Tink is revived, and the duo heads to the Jolly Roger to face Hook. They arrive and find Peter tied onto an anchor about to be thrown overboard. Tink distracts Hook and Smee while Jane frees the lost boys and battle the pirates. Tink manages to knock Hook unconscious so Jane can try to retrieve the key. Hook awakens and attempts to kill Jane. Tink sprinkles pixie dust on her and she is able to escape through flight. Not only that, but she is also able to free Peter. Hook is defeated and Peter escorts Jane home. While there, Peter and Tink, who, after so many years, has finally put her jealousy and resentment of Wendy aside, have a brief but heartwarming reunion with the full-grown Wendy, whom Tink uses her fairy dust to allow Wendy to magically levitate one last time with Peter's permission. Afterward, they head back home to Neverland. Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's first word hello? The birth of Tinkerbell. The film Tinkerbell tells of Tink's history, long before she met Peter Pan. According to the film, Tinkerbell was born from a baby's first laugh and a white dandelion seed. She arrives in Pixie Hollow, located in Neverland. Upon her arrival, she was able to talk to her friends, and her magical talent is found by showing her a number of objects related to each fairy talent, which will react to her if that is her innate magical talent. Ironically, the only object she passes over when looking for her talent is the Tinker Hammer, but her inner talent is so skillfully gifted and strong that the hammer goes to her. After hearing stories of the mainland, Tinkerbell becomes excited at the prospect of visiting in the springtime. She soon learns that only nature-talented fairies visit the mainland, and become determined to find a talent that would let her go. However, Tinkerbell's attempts at learning nature talents fail miserably. She alienates the other Tinkers in the workshop by saying she does not want to be a stupid Tinker. However, after her friends see Tinkerbell successfully repair a music box, they tell her that going to the mainland shouldn't matter if tinkering is what she is good at. This does not make Tinkerbell feel better, as she calls them out for breaking their promise, and so she goes to Vidya for help. Vidya, who had been unintentionally humiliated by Tinkerbell earlier, tells Tink that capturing sprinting thistles would allow her to go to the mainland. In attempting to capture them, Tinkerbell ruins the preparations for spring after Vidya secretly interferes. After speaking with Terrence, she realizes the importance of a tinker's job. Tinkerbell is able to redeem herself by inventing machines that speed up the spring preparations, allowing the other fairies to get back on schedule. As a reward, Queen Clarion allows Tinkerbell to go to the mainland with the nature fairies to return the music box to Wendy Tinkerbell had fixed earlier. Tinkerbell